Hello, folks. We're back heading into Picks Potato Boys versus Agilitas. On the left, Potato Boys will have first pick. Agilitas took the last game, so they had the choice and will choose to go for the Chaos side. Right now, after I believe Agilitas.
They're just going to do the same thing.
Yeah, they are. They're actually no. They're gonna have some help from Potato Boys here. Athena banned away, Geb banned away. No Kumba ban this time. Well, okay, of course there's no Kuma ban, because you can't give Mercury to adapting. You will
That's
die.
fair. That's fair. Yes, you can.
Like there's a list of people you don't give Mercury to.
Yep.
Adapting is the one challenger player on that list.
There's not a single other challenger, really?
I don't think so. I think it's like
it is just adapting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of other people on that list.
They're good players, but
right.
I'm
exactly. I'm talking about like you don't. It's bad. You will die. Everything will suck. Like, don't do it.
Looks like they want to take Thor away from adapting as well. This is going to be the first time we see Replicas on that. Well, Replicas played. I feel like Replicas embodies the kill people jungler, not the setup jungler. We saw him play a setup jungler sometime earlier today. Went all right, but not as crazy as when he plays a Mercury or a Kali or something like that. So we'll see how this works out for Agilitas. I do think taking it away from adapting is good. Adapting really does like to set stuff up. And it comes out, folks. The Pretty Prime Vulcan. Y'all may have heard a lot of words, a lot of stories. We're actually going to see it live, and the counterban for Kanye, the counterban for Kumba. Agilitas is hitting it out of the park in this pick ban phase.
There is one problem. No supports have been drafted. 3 of them have been banned. So the support picks in this game are going to be like pocket, like lit pocket. Like really deep down.
So Agilitas,
Ymir,
Touch's main hunter that he's been playing, Rom.
Take it.
Pretty Prime is Vulcan. Adapting,
that's true.
Been playing Thor. Ban out Geb Kuma Karma. Agilitas is running this pick ban phase, Craig.
Sure.
I am using my excited.
That said, you're taking Raw away from Agilitas, which has been core for them. And you have adapting on Freya, which is
scary.
It's almost on the list of things you don't give adapting. There's 2 lists. There's adapting is on the people you don't give Mercury list, and then there's also the list of stuff you don't give to adapting list. Because honestly, I mean, I feel like he's sort of a European Gars. And I'm going to say it as in like a pre-kickoff Gars. You're like, one of these days, he's going to kill everybody.
Okay.
Right? You can see it. Like, adapting is playing well, but he's not killing everybody. And eventually, he'll just kill everybody. Adapting is definitely one of those players that if he doesn't make the Pro League through the wildcards, I expect him to get poached. 100%.
I can definitely already see some spots where he would be desired. For sure. Potato Boy's going to take away Confrey's famous Hun pass. I'm just kidding. It was a misclick last time, but actually made it work.
Freya solo. So it's going to be the Hunbats in the jungle, which is something that adapting can play well. And it's going to be Freya in the solo because proxy.
Right.
Unless it's going to be Hunbat solo because proxy's like, I'm the guy that plays the stupid gods in lane, not you. And so he's trying to show it off to Confrey. Habwa. Here's the question for Habwa. Will he feed against this composition of Ra, Freya, Apollo, Bacchus, Hunbats?
Oh, there he is. Oh, Hunbat. Okay. You just clairvoyant right there.
I'm clever.
So Habwa on Agilitas.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Vulcan in the middle lane, and we'll see Habwa in the solo. This should be interesting. Taking a look at the players, adapting is going to be playing the Hunbats. Adapting versus Habwa. So here's the deal. Habwa doesn't necessarily die to Hunbats, but he gets neutered because he ults out of the Fear No Evil. So you don't really get that burst damage from Habwa as you normally would. So it's up to adapting to really force the deaths onto Habwa if he wants to gank this solo lane, which Amboise always a delicious gank target. So it's really going to see, this is going to be a test of how well Hunbats can be played if he wants to get the Hebo kills.
So, let's talk about crowd control. On Agilitas, you've got great stuns from Thor, just because of the way that you initiate and sort of the way you use them. Ymir's stun is very long duration, and stun is tied for second best crowd control in the game. It's in that position because it's the CC. It sets the bar. There is no ability that immunes stun that does not immune every other form of crowd control. Like, beads immune everything, whereas Kali-ult immunes everything but stun. And that's a paradigm that we see. Basically, knockbacks. Knockbacks are tied with stuns for second best CC in the game, because while there are certain abilities that make you knockback immune, such as Berserker Rush from Thor. And well, in this match is Berserker Rush from Thor, which is the only one.
Yep.
But they don't suffer from diminishing returns. They create it, but they don't suffer from it. So you can hit someone with all the CC in the world, then you belly flop them with Bacchus, they're knocked up for the full duration. So that's why they're tied. At the top, there's the stun knockback. And you see that on Vulcan, on the Magma Bomb. It stuns you to interrupt whatever is making you immune to knockbacks, aside from a few exceptions like Kali-ult, and then it knocks you back. Zhongkui's ultimate is in the same situation. So you have a stun knockback burst mage on Vulcan, where he's going to knock you up, knock you out of anything that could immune the stun, and murder you while you're in the air. And then you've got Habwa, which is a knock-up burst mage, who's going to knock you up and murder you while you're in the air. Agilitas' ability to burst people is incredible, and it's on every character aside from Rom when he's not in his ult. When he's in his ult, he could also burst people.
Yes.
You just go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Apollo, another one of Suntouch's high success rate gods. I do think Rom is Apollo's #1 for sure, or I think Rom is Suntouch's #1 for sure. But I'm happy with the Apollo on Suntouch, and I'm honestly excited to see what either team can do. Game 3, folks, week 4 of your European Challenger Cup. We're in here for the conclusion of this week's competition. Stay tuned. We'll be back very soon with the conclusion.
All right, guys, here we are in the Shadow of Olympus. 2 teams facing off, representing order. It's going to be the Potato Boys. Dirgeous, Arrow, Proxy, Adapting, and Suntouch. Fighting for the forces of Chaos. Agilitas are Ataraxia, Pretty Prime, Timely Life, Opry, and Revenant.
Eking it out to a game 3. Potato Boys and Agilitas both have 1 win in this series. The winner of this match will actually crown the king. Agilitas, winner of the past 3 weeks of competition. Potato Boys trying to get their first victory. We'll see if Suntouch and the boys can really take this one for the first time in Challenger Cup history, our short history of
for EU, for EU.
For our first 3 weeks of competition. Potato Boys, rather than go their traditional duck duck goose setup, they're actually just gonna line up 5 people in the damage camp.
Yeah, they are. Well, that's actually Agilitas. They're waiting. I like this. Their level 1 is actually really good. They've got the slow from Rom, they've got the freeze from Ymir, and the auto attack damage. Berserker Barrage and Jojoy Thor is amazing at level 1. Comfrey can do incredible damage, and Pretty Prime with the knockups. Little they know, Potato Boy's strategy is to do nothing and just wait around for the game to start. So, Agilitas getting a little bit outplayed. The map should start in, well, the camps are going to spawn in about 10 seconds, and the question is, will things be standard? A ward comes out from Adapting onto the right mid camp just to ensure that the Potato Boys aren't up to any form of trickery. It's also going to show Agilitas that Potato Boys are going to do a mid camp to blue start.
They're going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and do the mid camp to blue start as Kret said, skipping the red buff. Going to wind up in the soul lane around the same time as Potato Boys, despite the fact that they're starting off on the pristine side. Good matchup for Pretty Prime. It's going to be Ra against this Vulcan. Ra and the turret. Let's talk about Celestial Beam and the heal a little bit, Kret.
You can place the heal on the turret, but assuming Prime is leveling it, which I believe he does, you're not going to be able to kill it past a few levels. It'll just take too long. In Celestial Beam, you have to choose between hitting the creeps and hitting the turret, and spoiler alert, you hit the creeps. So I feel like Raw's going to do fine in this matchup, but he's not going to be the kind of character that just kills Vulcan turret forever and is super annoying. Also, Dirgius on Bacchus, a very aggressive support for a very defensive player. Definitely an interesting choice, and Repicas on the right-hand side gonna cash out adapting.
Adapting getting cut out a little bit while the rest of the red team invade on the speed buff. We saw this last game, so sometimes you knows what's coming, gonna try and do something about it. Can't though. Kanye Life gonna walk away with that speed buff. Half HP, but worth it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, he'll be able to sustain up a little bit with the passive HP 5 from Watchers, which is a big part of why the item is good. Dirgius is ahead of him in health currently and does have a health pot on deck, so that's an extra 250 health that's available. So, yeah, a little bit of advantage to Bacchus, but hey, getting the speed buff is super important, and that's going to slow down adapting, a jungler that usually relies on being ahead early on.
Aggression coming out from Kanye Life. Great wall into a freeze. No follow-up on Sun Touch, though, because of a very good belly flop coming out from Dirgius. So we mentioned how he was an aggressive support on the Bacchus with defensive mindset of Dirgius, and I have a feeling that's going to be a tendency. Just the defensive knockup coming out from Bacchus. I'm excited.
Level 3 gank from adapting. Somersault in. Comfrey not going to try and turn this around. Just going to walk away. He actually could have done substantial damage to adapting there. I just think he gave more respect than he needed to in that specific situation, which is totally understandable. Level 5 hit by both solo laners, and while Comfrey will lose a creep to tower, it's not going to be too much more than that. Okay, yes it is. It's going to be... Oh, it's 4. Wow.
More than half the wave going down right there. Mid-camp spawning very soon. Kanye already in position to take this. Repicas on the right side. Kanye and Pretty Prime in the middle. Now we have the trifecta. Middle lane support and jungle right here in the middle lane. Right camp's going to spawn first. Potato Boys or Agilitas will go ahead and pick these ones up. And Potato Boys will pick up the ones on the left.
Yeah, so it's going to be an even camp clear. Heading back to lane is everyone. Now, the question is, Anorexia went back to base a little bit early, does have 2 health potions picked up, and is going to be waiting to get those Devil Gloves. The question is he going to be able to get them at the same timing as Sun Touch? 300 gold? Yes! And so... Well, yeah, I mean, he should be able to get the Devourer's Gauntlets at roughly the same time as Sun Touch, which is totally great, and it comes down to a very slight 100 gold lead.
Yep, not quite a lead to be spoken about just yet, but gotta mention the fact that they are 100 gold ahead when it's only 4 minutes into the game. Definitely the beginnings of something wonderful if they keep it up. Vulcan ult down already, but at level 7... So Vulcan ult is something that happens more for team fights. It's not something you're really going to use in lane, so you might as well make the gamble, sort of like how a Ra will use his ult sort of freely because of a low cooldown. Pretty Prime will use his ult freely, not because of a low cooldown, but because of a lack of real application.
So that 100 gold lead on the Hunter is going to mean that he gets Devourer's Gauntlets 1 wave sooner and will be a few stacks ahead, considering he got some... experience in some last hits from the Harpies on the right-hand side, so it's not huge, but it is an advantage. And with Rom's general lane control in the Apollo-Rom matchup, it's something that Anorexia will take advantage of as the game goes forward. Now blue buff has spawned on all 4 corners of the map and will be cleared nearly simultaneously on all 4 corners of the map. No first blood has come out yet. Specifically, though, my point was going to be, Habwa hasn't died yet. It's 5 minutes. There is a timer ticking, and every time you kill him, the timer gets longer. But once it finishes, Habwa is just such a force.
Adapting gonna make sure he gets his speed buff this time around. No invade coming out from the duo lane on the Agilitas side. Already here for the spawn. So Adapting is gonna be able to move around just a little bit faster. And here's a decent rotation coming out from the boys in Agilitas. And already sees that Ataraxia's going to die. Suntouch is going to die, unfortunately, to the hand of Ataraxia. Jumping on the enemy jungler is Repicas, but nothing really to be gained there. Suntouch does go down. That will be first blood.
And that first blood, as you mentioned, is going to go to Ataraxia. You know, I just said Rom has lane control, and now he really does. The biggest thing is, I forget the term, you'll know it, but when you get your opponent's health low, and then you confirm a kill because of the ultimate, their health wasn't allowed to get that low, or they would die for free. It's a threshold, I think?
Kill threshold.
There you go.
Rom has a...
Right-hand side, though, Blah versus Proxy. Proxy's gonna find the kill, but Repicas showed up. Proxy's ultimate is down. Repicas not getting aggressive for the kill, and that's a big mistake, because Proxy's just able to walk away. Repicas could have had that. Oh,
so easy. So easy from the broadcasters
totally
to say he could have had that. But Repicas definitely could have had that.
He totally could have. It just comes down to respecting the Freya steroids, and he didn't realize how soon Freya's steroids were gonna come off. Once Freya stops having Radiate up, she's not Freya anymore.
Yep, she's just a fish out of water without those cooldowns up, and Freya can't really afford to build any cooldown reduction. Needs as much power as possible along with some attack speed to make use of those steroids, so really not able to consistently be Freya, which is kind of an awkward statement to say. Approaching the 7th minute, just over the 7th minute, and teams are returning to a form of passivity, looking for jungle buffs, etc. Nothing really happening. Interesting. I wonder if Suntouch will be the target a second time on this Apollo.
Probably. To answer your question, probably. Repicas is heading over to the Gold Fury. He's going to get spotted out by Dirges here now on a ward, so he can't gank Suntouch stealthily, and Sun's just going to retreat to under his tower. Now Repicas in the jungle. Nice interrupt out onto Adapting, but doesn't have the Mjolnir's attunement to get out. Adapting's not going to drop the Fear No Evil there. Looks like Arrow just didn't think they could get that kill, and they don't want to waste that super important ultimate. And the Solan Proxy has finished his Bancroft's Talon, so he gets scarier as his health gets lower, whereas Confrey has his Pen Boots finished. Adapting in the middle lane, dropped to half from some poke.
We're going to see Suntouch backing right about now. Level 9 to Ataraxia's level 10. Might miss some of this wave. We'll see if Dirges is going to save the wave. But so Ataraxia is going to clear this as soon as possible, which means Dirges is going to have to tank all 6 members of the wave. Kanye coming into lane, that's going to make it very difficult. Suntouch just at the tier 1, so he's going to miss at least a single minion right here.
Looking to dive onto Proxy, not going to go for it. They don't want to go under tower. They respect Adapting's rotation, and they're right to. His Adapting's about to show up in the solo lane. Confrey's going to need to return to tower. That gank was a little bit telegraphed because Confrey was sitting really far up in lane with 350 health as a Hubla, and that doesn't make sense. That is a red flag. That is a really big red flag.
Hubla, the man with no escapes outside of his own ultimate. We're going to see Confrey playing it safe. Proxy and Adapting still respecting the low health Hubla just because it says something else.
In mid, in a little bit of trouble. We'll be able to get away there. Adapting's going to jump in, and Repicas could be in trouble if a good Fear No Evil comes through, but at the snipe with the Fear No Evil is exactly what they need. Apollo comes down from the sky, and Kanye Life is going to be the target. The camps are going to trade 1-for-1. Kanye now down to just 300 health, taken down completely. Sometimes the snipe comes through, or sorry, Ataraxia's snipe comes through, but he's not going to find the hits that he needs in the middle lane. It's going to be the Romp backing off, and the disengage is called from Agilitas, giving up 2 kills. Rough.
Very, very rough. You know, they lost that engagement, but it's just pretty prime on this Vulcan impacted that fight incredibly. He landed the blind ultimate. He got a 3-person stun knockup with the meat. Well, try to help out his team with some zoning with the turret. Not enough, unfortunately, but did impact it. So I'm excited to see the future of this pretty prime Vulcan. It's so highly sought after, so highly spoken about, and already just 10 minutes into this game, Pretty Prime has already proven that he can land his stuff better than most of the Vulcan people we've seen.
That's true. Now we just need to see sort of that individual outplay potential, the jukes with the backfire, the damage coming out flawlessly, and I'll be happy. Dirgeus gonna miss a belly flop, straight up shing that one, and Repikas is just gonna walk away out of pity. Gank attempt onto Suntouch, but he's gonna be safe, able to dash away, sliding off the wall. In the solo lane, Confrey's actually rotated over to mid as Vulcan has rotated into left jungle. Gonna give Confrey a little bit of a wave of farm and will allow the Habla to head back to the right-hand lane and continue to try and deal with Freya. Notice I say try, because Proxy is doing really good in this 1v1.
He is, and Freya's a character that doesn't particularly fare well in lane. Lackluster clear? No real... There's really no reason to put her in lane other than the fact that solo lane can farm up and she does well with farm. But
Gold Fury pulled
very well against Confrey.
Gold Fury pulled. So Ymir has incredible ability to secure the Gold Fury because of his ultimate. He's gonna go just like that. You go into your ultimate, you're CC immune. You pop it, big burst, hog, secure the kill. There's nothing that Bacchus can do to stop you. Kanye in a little bit of a tough position will be able to walk away, and that Gold Fury play from Agilitas was exactly what they needed. The game was even. Agilitas, despite being down in kills, was up in gold. Godfrey finds the solo kill. Will die to the rotation from adapting. Make no mistake, he is a man. Dead.
Missed the 3,
Dead.
but the
There we
basic
go.
gets it anyway. That's
Took him
more
a few
how I expect
tries.
this lane to go, Cred. I expect the kills on the Freya from the Habla. A little more of that. Left-hand lane, taking a look. A lot of damage onto Ataraxia, willing to turn it around because here comes Kanye. Up in the air, waiting for the freeze. Can he do it? One more needs to hit. Dirty is going to juke that one out, but a good freeze and basic coming out from the tag team in Agilitas' lane.
Oh,
going to be
that
great.
wall!
Beautiful wall from Kanye Life. Murder used to be known for this character, Cret. Better mez by Suntouch is going to let him get away. One basic from Ataraxia, but Kanye takes it with the ice carpet.
He needed
fantastic from Agilitas. Yes, he definitely did. Not a kill steal. Kill secure in the most literal fashion coming out from the red team.
There was a chance that an Astro Arrow was going to come up soon, but that probably wasn't communicated. You're probably not saying, "No, I have an Astro Arrow in 2.5 seconds." You're probably thinking, Suntouch is in creeps, he's about to get away. Get the Glacial Strike, get the kill, and honestly, I mean, Ymir does a lot of damage. At this point, a kill is just going to speed up his timing on Sovereignty, which is super important. Even just giving it to Ymir as a choice, I wouldn't complain too much. You probably don't want to go full Incon and have a 8-0 support.
Right.
But giving a kill or two to your support to get Sovereignty a little bit faster can be really nice.
Oh yeah, the rush to Sovereignty is, I mean, Sovereignty is just an incredible item. Universal support.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of situations where we'll see support Nemesis, support Fenrir, etc. And 95% of the time, we call them support because they might have Midas Boots and they definitely have a Sovereignty. There are a few situations where you see something else, but...
And those are wrong. Sovereignty
Honestly,
Sovereignty is objectively good, Cret. It is just the only choice for a second item support.
Let me just get my numbers really quick. Looking at our my protection chart, you take a mage with 30 magical protection, right? And you take him from 77% damage reduction all the way up to 66% damage reduction for magical.
Blink in from Kanye, left side, Suntouch walled off, not quite going to make it on the other side of the wall, so a bit of a misplay there from Kanye Life, not as flawless as we saw the first time around, but good job right there coming out from the quick beads. Repikas in a little bit of trouble, beadsing out is beautiful, that saved his life.
Suntouch
Arrow was on point, and Suntouch looking for the jungler in the back, gets not quite the knock up, but a decent amount of damage. Suntouch destroyed by Pretty Prime. And Araxia in the side providing some artillery. Kanye finishes up Dirgeus. Now you have the 4-man push with an ult in the air. Repikas looking for it. Lands on arrow. Gets the double stun. That's a dead guy thanks to Confrey rotating over from the solo lane. Ares going to be down. Kanye very, very low. Proxy needs one shot on him. Can't get it. Confrey's going to take out an adapting and Proxy QQ forced out of this engagement. Kanye Life should not be alive, but he is. This will be a middle lane tower at the 15-minute mark for Agilitas. First tower, or second tower for the guys in red.
Alright, let's go over that really quick. So, Suntouch dives onto Repikas. Confrey blinks forward with the knockup, simultaneously peels and confirms the kill onto Suntouch. Then, chasing onto Arrow, caught in a corridor, and Proxy has a great ultimate, firing those 4 shots of Valkyrie's Discretion over the wall and dropping 2 people to 50 health. Which was scary. But and also the teleport from Hoonbots. It was a blind teleport. The ball was bouncing around in the grouped up Agilitas. He didn't realize it, but if he just recklessly pressed three, he could have blinked in and probably gotten 2 kills. Well, maybe gotten 2 kills. But in the middle lane, when he does eventually show up, stunned out by Kanye with 50 health. Kanye just had 50 health, able to walk away. Proxy not finding the pulse hit or the auto attack, and Agilitas they're enraged. They are playing out of their mind.
They definitely are.
Dirgy is
getting collapsed on by 3 members wearing Agilitas uniforms. That's going to be a great bounce up, but Ataraxia, that's the goodness of Rom. Doesn't matter, kill threshold or not, you're going to get the kill anyway. Repicos providing the spacing, providing the surround. Suntouch has to play it safe, but Agilitas hungry for rubble, looking for this long lane, and not going to quite get it. Suntouch with good support.
Yeah, close, but not close enough. Nice wall coming out from Kanye. Freeze is going to connect. Beads are forced. I mentioned earlier there's a situation where Suntouch used beads. We're 16 minutes in. Beads 3, Aegis 2. Beads 3, Beads 1, Hog 2. Hog 3, Beads 3. That is a lot of active money. It's 900, 1800, 2700, 3000 gold from Potato Boys spent on beads. The lead, there's a 5000 gold lead from Agilitas. And then another 3,000 gold from Potato Boys just in beads. They need it. They need it. Proxy in the middle of this fight, gonna try and get some kills with Valkyrie's Aggression. Confrey blinks in, but doesn't find the hit set he needs. Pretty Prime in a little bit of trouble in this 1v1, and will be trying to survive up against Adapting, which is unlikely as Repicos goes down to the back to Suntouch his dive. Prime gets under tower, he'll be okay. Knock up, Snipe comes through, not quite gonna connect, but Suntouch taken down by the Water Spout, Water Cannon combo. Now Confrey has to somehow save his teammate as Dirges gets a kill. That's gonna be the crushing wave forward. Can Confrey get this engagement? Proxy's not quite dead, but Confrey getting low as well. Adapting takes the towers hit. Teleport in. Vulcan from Pretty Prime and Kanye Life. They should get Dirgius, but Prime has to be careful, and Prime will get the kill.
Dirgius playing very up, really got aggressed, so that's that, and just incredible play coming out from the boys on Agilitas. We are going to cut to a brief break, however. Bear with us. This is Game 3 of your European Challenger Cup. Welcome back, Smite fans. After a brief break, we have returned with your conclusion of your European Challenger Cup finals. This is Game 3, of course. Game 1 and 2 have been split between the 2 finalists, Potato Boys and Agilitas. At the moment, we have the blue team, Potato Boys, trailing about 5,400 gold to Agilitas, and we'll see. Kanye Life getting a little aggressive, but he's going to go back into the middle lane.
Yeah, just going to be holding his own in the middle lane. You know, I'm excited to see the conclusion of this match, but I'm a little salty because I was really enjoying that song. DJ Mogster with them fat beats. On the right-hand side, racing around, is Agilitas gonna counter ward. That is 4 wards in the same area, I'm pretty sure. That was a lot of warding. Yeah, there's so many wards here. Oh, this sentry's so efficient. It got 2.
Yeah, the drop of that song winds up being the actual engagement right here on the right side. Proxy getting caught out, slowed because of the Ymir carpet. Confrey kills Adapting, that's a good kill, but now there is Proxy getting good, just gonna avoid that ultimate. Dirgius did take it though. Agilitas laying the smackdown. 2 members of Potato Boys already dead. Ataraxia snipes from beyond. A fantastic play coming out from the Hunter for Agilitas. Rom just really paying off at the moment, and that's going to be a tower. That's going to be the game, folks. Surprising quick end to this one. 19 minutes and 30 seconds of Smite regulation time, and with a 6,000 gold lead, Agilitas take game 3 and the week.
I mean, Agilitas were playing very well with that game, and I guess what it came down to was Potato Boys just didn't feel like they could make the comeback. They did a good job in game 1, but a big part of that was the ability to hold under Phoenixes, and that changes when you're up against the composition that Agilitas had. They have great hard engage with Thor and Ymir. They have great long-range poke. They have a great way to kill towers with Rama, and honestly, Habla and Vulcan too, once they get super amounts of magic power. And they were scaling very aggressively. I mean, the late game was just a little bit too good, and I don't know. Something didn't really come together for the Potato Boys with that final draft, but they played well. these games are getting closer and closer. Except for that one.
That one was a little bit one-sided, but you're totally right on that assessment, Cred. Agilitas' first week, I believe, came out 2-0, and despite the all-star lineup of this Potato Boys team, kind of really ran the matches that each week we're getting closer and closer. Subtouch has been getting better and better on these Hunters. I want to see more Apollo play out of him, but his ROM definitely on point. Excited for the future of these two matchups.
I really am. I would totally be content seeing another 3 weeks of Agilitas versus Potato Boys because it's so even. It reminds me of old school Dig Cog that we saw in the Path to Smite launch. Just a classic matchup. Not really. SPL is very different because it's round robin.
Right.
But in the Challengers Cup, you still get that sort of finals grudge match sort of thing, which is very cool. But that's going to be it for today, folks. Thanks for coming out and supporting the stream. We've been SaltScod. That's me, Hinduman, who's currently in Sweden. Moji on production. Cooper. And your boy Counter Helix holding it down for the admins, and we've been happy to bring this tournament to you.